Today we'll talk a bit about tags and how to set them up. First of all, tags are usually used on transfers, and they will work as kind of variables or parameters that can help you to transfer data to several destinations. The idea is that usually one tag would correspond to a specific connection. So now, first part is that before you go in and set up any tags, you have to make sure that you have your connections in place. So if you have multiple connections, then you have to do that first, and then you go to this section. Now, in order to set up tags, then the first thing you need to do, you have to set up here the specific codes for your tags. Now, as you can see here, I have quite a few codes being set up. The first one, which is the one that's always used, will be this one, connection, because you always want to associate tags to a specific connection that you have in place. And then you have others such as company, which would be the company name. And then one good example is, for example, this one, currency. So there are situations when you transfer data from one system to another and the currency is missing. In this case, what you can do, have a tag defined for it and set up a default currency. So this is a way to avoid issues. Of course, you can use it on any other type of values. Then you have the company name. You can also add that. And then what you see here that has ls in front, these are actually link storages that have been defined for the connections. So the idea is that when you have multiple companies in your ERP, you also want to set up link storages. See here on top. Link storages are lookup tables. So they will store the primary keys that belong to those specific, let's say, customers, invoices. So it refers to the primary keys from both systems. So the primary key from source and the primary key from destination. Now, that can be done for any type of a record. Now, in my case, I have included within the tags the link storages that I have set up for this specific connection. So I have the customers, invoices, contacts. Of course, you can add more to it. So when you click on new, you can say, for example, I want to set up a default unit of measure. I will say default unit of measure, and I save it. Now, if we scroll down, you'll see my new value has been added here. So everything you see here on this list, so everything that's under code, it will be added here as a header, as you can see here, right? So all of them are headers. Now, for every header, you need to specify a value. Let's say a static value, or you specify a link storage, which would be more dynamic. In my case, I have connection, right? If I click edit, I added my connection code to it, right? So this is a static value, so it's always the same. So you would have one line for each connection. And then the next one would be the company name. So I'm adding it here so I know what this is linked to. And then the currency. Like I said, this is the default currency I want to have set up because I want to always default to this one in case in my systems there is no currency setup. You can add the company name or any other information here, so you can store anything that you need. And then, as you can see here, everything that starts with ls actually refers to the link storages. For every connection, we do set up link storages. But of course, there are situations when customers don't need them, but the majority are using them. When you want to associate a link storage with a specific company, you have to make sure that here in this field, you add the actual link storage name. So if your link storage is called customer_DK, you add it here. So then whenever the transfer runs, it will be able to pick up this link storage that actually corresponds to this connection. And this is how you do it for all those link storages. And then like the one that I added, unit of measure, you can specify here a default unit of measure. So that can be used on a transfer where you are transferring, let's say, items, right? So then you can always do that. And you can add more lines. As you can see here, you can have as many as you want. And then, of course, in order to save everything that you have done, just click on Show Tag Values, and they will just get out of this edit mode. So this is a way to actually add this tags. So remember, the first part would be from here would be the tag headers, and then static values for the actual field value, so to speak, or the link storage itself as a value, so that when the transfer runs, it will pick up those specific records. Now, one example is that as soon as you have the tags set up, you can always add them on your transfer. In this case, this information is added under the general section. So here you can say link storage, use this one that says tag company lscust. So what this will do, we'll look at the company that has been added there under tags and the lscust, so or the link storage that belongs to it. So these are the, all the things that you have available, so then you can use them. So that's one for the link storage. And then another option is for the source. You can always use tag company connection, because under this field, under the connection field in tags, you had the possibility to add the connection code. So whenever you do that, then you get to point it to the right connection. So you save it, and I'll show you something really interesting. So if you look here up top, the tags will be displayed here. So see, so I had a 1, 2, and then I added a third, which for now is empty, but then if you add more information, you will be able to see the third and then the fourth and so on. So this is a way to see the companies that are part of this transfer. So if you have multiple legal companies in your ERP, you can have a tag, a line for each one of them, define the values that you want, and then add them on the transfer. So, and then as soon as the transfer runs, it will be able to pick that specific company. So this is a really good way to use a master transfer for the same, for all the companies that you have. And it's an easy way to actually transfer information, and you don't have to create a transfer for every single company. So this is the best way to do it. And going back to tags, you can always edit them, remove them. You have here the possibility to do that and add new ones as you go, and remove them if needed. So yes, give it a try, and I'm sure you will enjoy using them.